It's turned into a complete monster. And look at that in the sun. That is just a massive bloom. So if you think how this looked 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where it was just grass, and over the years I would slowly add specimen plants and things without really defining garden beds, but from the road, it has changed quite a bit. And that sun is right in our eyes, but that is crazy. So we're headed to the nursery. We're gonna buy some big hydrangeas, and I've never bought hydrangeas this big. These are some monsters. And what I'm looking for is the Pinky Winky. And look how big those pots are. But some of these look like they could use a little help, but this is really what we're going for. Love that structure of the paniculata on the Pinky Winky. So I'm gonna get several. Got a whole pallet of these things, and they are running a sale, so they're not $70, they are 20% off, and then we've got a gift card, so we're gonna burn it today. But there's a lot of hydrangeas out here. There's something new called the Pink Diamond that looks a lot like the Pinky Winky. Real big, 7 gallon pot. But I think I'm gonna stick with the Proven Winners here. I just love that look, and I think that's gonna add some quick size to the bed that I'm gonna redo, and instant colors. Now we just pick them out. Puffer fish. Haven't even seen that. That's cool. That is a big bloom. That is one bloom right there. If I didn't have my heart set on the Pinky Winkies, I'd get these. Note to self, look how big that is. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Now I want everything.
I like the purple.
Oh, they got whites. White chiffon. That's like ours, but a little smaller blooms.
I like that one.
That's some interesting color.
Yeah, it's like purple.
It's like dark purple, almost blue. Boy, that's a blue.
Dark lavender chiffon is what it's called. I like it.
I like blue. You don't see blue flowers anywhere.
Yeah, it's probably
Like, look at that when it's open over there.
Probably like those hydrangeas.
Look at that. That's cool. This is what I'm trying to make, I think. I don't know if that's an arb or what, but that's a cedar. But kind of what I was trying to do with my arborvitae.
Yeah, it's huge.
That is crazy.
Hopefully you don't get stuff. That's like one bouquet. Now to pick one out of. Just kidding.
One out of what?
One to leave and the rest to take home.
Picking out hydrangeas.
I like this tall one, but I don't know if I want a single tree.
Maybe ones that are.
I'm thinking 3 to 5.
Yeah, could you get a second cart, please?
I haven't picked out plants in years, I feel like. I feel like I usually just grab whatever truckload I can get.
We did echinaceas recently, no?
Well, the last one's always the hardest one.
This one.
I thought you
They're
had
so like different as far as colors and
Yeah.
like where they're at.
I like that one actually. Oh, that one's the one with the bottom, huh? Never mind. How about that one at the end?
The end
Corner.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't tell if this is the Queen Carpenter bee or what. That one or the one that had the bent trunk. Or...
Yeah, I keep liking that one, but
Sure. I'm on it.
It's my dad's birthday.
so this is the
And then there was Adam.
What's up, buddy?
Are you doing 3?
No, you cray. When has Dad ever done 3?
So I got the Pinky Winkies home. I ended up with 5, and I really think they are pretty good plants. Look at the panicles on those. Not super bushy this year, but that is just exactly what I want. You can see against that vanilla strawberry, completely different texture. So as we come out here, I've got this bed that I kind of spoke about in my last video, but everything texture wise is real soft and fluffy limelight, and I think having some interesting difference here is gonna do the trick. I tried to do it with fire and ice. They're just not gonna be big enough, and I want big, fast, and I'm not willing to wait at this point with a sale that we just happened on, and that's kind of the look, but it's not my favorite hydrangea. So everything's nice and soft visually. You can see that Pinky Winky in the back, that big one, but I think right here that'll add a pop of different texture. And I've already gotten the garden bed bumped out, really doubled in size. I put a nice curve kind of that I liked, kind of kidney shaped, just a general garden bed, but I trenched out really deep on the edges here, and I even ran the auger just to break up that clay soil, because I think we're going to get a rainstorm. So my theory, the water can penetrate faster, and maybe mix some of that fine dirt in on down. I'll level it out, but when I actually decide where my holes are, it might be a little easier to dig, and we'll have a very porous surface that the water can get down in. And it's a theory at least. But anyway, I really like it. I haven't gotten any new hydrangeas in this year, and ready to get at it. Got the oak tree.
Oh, that's gonna be saved, isn't it?
I just planted this 2 weeks ago. Look how rooted in it is. That's crazy. That looks good. Lots of roots. Oh, I forgot biotone again.
For this?
Everything. So this is the biotone starter fertilizer, and I think it's got rooting hormones and probably some other not vegetables, but vitamins, minerals, and really helps a plant with transplant shock, and I forget it every time. So biotone in the hole first, too much. The few roots I didn't trash. compost, topsoil, grass. I think the grass will add nitrogen, but that's a soft hole. All right. So I had to take a break after that. That's a lot of holes. 5 holes is not a lot, but these are tree size holes. And you can see really how big I went. And at the bottom, you can see all of that clay. So what I'm gonna do is put in pine bark at the bottom, layer in manure, compost, and topsoil. But this is the pine bark. I'm gonna put that initial bedding down for each of the plants. And then we're gonna lasagna it on up, and then hopefully those plants have a lot of moisture retention and be able to kind of spread out with their roots. So the next layer, the lasagna, is biotone starter fertilizer. I forgot to put it on the hibiscus, so I actually dug it up and replanted it with biotone. But we're gonna have the pine mulch at the base, biotone at the next level, plant right on top of that, and then as I fill in, we're gonna have plenty of compost, wood chips, compost. It's actually pine bark, so it's not wood chips that you'd buy or just get for free, but hopefully that adds some acidity to the soil. And hydrangeas like acidity, so I think that'll be a lot better than this awful clay. This is just absolute junk. And I used my drill on it, and it makes it smaller, and you can mix that actually with the soil so it's usable. But when it's like this, that's just trash. Can't even grab it. It's like rock hard. So anyway, next is biotone, then the plants go in. Do we have enough? Wow, listen to those cicadas. It is really getting ready to storm here. And why I'm glad that it's gonna storm is because I got the hydrangeas in. We just need to get some mulch on it, and we should be good to go. But that is all about to be watered by something other than drip. I got the drip plugged into each one, so at least we're on a cycle here of water every other day, I think. But this storm is going to be awesome. Look at that. this cool clouds. They're flying too. I love it. I love it when it rains here. Can't rain too much this year. It has in years past, but not this year. Look at everything just getting a drink. So my wife has noticed that the Pinky Winky really caught my eye this summer, and I talk about it a lot. I really like how this giant one is really transformed. We planted a quart-sized pot. It's turned into a complete monster, and look at that in the sun. That is just a massive bloom. They start white and they start fading into red as they go up, but they continue to grow. At the very top, they're going to be white, and they'll have that complex not bloomed kind of structure a lot of hydrangeas have. So it's a completely different texture than anything else out here. Everything is really the soft, puffy limelight and vanilla strawberry firelight type of thing, but this is just amazing. And when I see one, I think 5 would be pretty cool. So they took me to the nursery as a birthday experience for everybody, and Gavin was able to help pick out some plants, load some plants, and we've got them in the ground. We've got mulch in, and I think one of them needs a little water today, but otherwise we've got drip going to them. I probably didn't run it today. And they look completely different. So if you look at it, it's kind of comma shaped, a little pointier on this side. We've got the yellow magnolia, and then I made the mistake of planting it way too close together again. I watched Garden Answer the other night, and she was planting 5 Pinky Winkies just as I was. And she spaced them maybe 10 feet apart. So I did not do that. I did 3 foot maybe at the most. So these are going to be 9-10 foot skyscrapers within 10 feet of each other. And they're going to be a complete monster here, right in the middle of all of this, to create kind of the room look that we all come to learn to build in garden beds. But we've got a hardy hibiscus on this end, and that's the guy that needs some water, I think, but we'll run that after I'm done here. But that is just super sharp edges, about a foot of mulch. It's quite a bit of mulch, but so if you think how this looked 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where it was just grass, and over the years I would slowly add specimen plants and things without really defining garden beds, but from the road it has changed quite a bit. And that sun is right in our eyes, but that is crazy. That wasn't there. A year ago, this was just an oval afterthought, and this year now we have a comma, and I really like it. It's a little bit different than the kidney-shaped beans that we normally do, and I just think those are going to look great. You add about 4 times the size, just think how high that's going to be. Very, very cool. What do you think, Rip? Is that a good stick? Is that a hydrangea? So that's 5 more hydrangeas in the landscape that I'm going to remember that bed going in when I'm 45 years old. So little things like that are kind of nice to look at when you're seeing things grow. Really the age, what happened, what was going on in your life at that point. But one thing I learned when I was picking them out, I already had my knowing what they look like and getting something that's really going to match kind of what's in my yard. But the lady at the nursery said some of those are Pinky Winkies and some of those are primes on my cart. At it, and I didn't know Pinky Winky prime existed, I guess. And it turns out they're supposed to be bigger, bloom earlier, and I thought competing beds might be kind of neat to watch grow over the course of time. So I grabbed some of the Pinky Winky primes, and they are supposed to be, well, they don't have, and Pinky Winky primes are supposed to be saying the Pinky Winky prime, or the Pinky Winky has, but a little bit different foliage. The base is a lot bushier, and the flowers are kind of smaller in the pots, but they're supposed to be even larger. So that's definitely going to be the next project. I need to find where I'm going to put these, where they can be a solid compare next to each other, and just really see over the years how Pinky Winky grows versus Pinky Winky prime. I can barely even say that. But another bed like this growing over time where you have skyscraper hydrangeas is just, it's probably over the top, but it'll kind of go with the theme of everything that's a little too much in the front yard here. So that'll be coming soon, but in the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Are you having a good roll? Are you having a good roll? Yes, you always are. You always are. Oh, good girl. You are a dirty girl, though. Why are you dirty after a bath every time? Come on. One more fun fact, I was out here where I planted the extra hydrangeas that I dug up, and the deer just thrashed it. Look at that. This is August and the deer are doing this. Planted that one, a few over there. They rubbed one of my bald cypress, and I'm not ready to wrap these things yet with ugly hardware cloth. But just death and destruction. Just trashed. Luckily I didn't wasn't in love with this spot, but that's just a waste. You can see all that green wood on there. But oh well, at least they didn't get the Pinky Winkies yet. So anyway, thanks for watching.